Lou is a mysterious elderly woman who lives like a troglodyte with her dog. In the rain, she carries a shovel through the woods where she digs up a chest. Returning home, she opens it to find documents, which she quickly scans before tossing them into the fire. After pouring herself a drink, Lou loads up her rifle and sits down, preparing to shoot herself. Just as she settles, my thighs clap louder than the thunder, interrupting the scene. A gunshot rings out in the woods. Lou is hunting with her dog and has shot a deer. Later, she heads into town to buy supplies, then stops by the bank. While filling out her slip, an announcement from President Reagan plays on the TV about our relations with Iran. Lou makes a withdrawal, and the teller is surprised by the large sum in her account. "Oh, she got money!" Lou leaves the bank with a bag of cash. When Lou reaches her car, Officer Rankin is there, petting her dog, Jax. I just know that old man want to give Lou some chiropractic adjustments. He notices Lou's discomfort in her hand and suggests a copper bracelet as a remedy for arthritis. He got it from RFK Jr.'s website. As Lou drives across town, a severe weather announcement interrupts the radio. The biggest storm in years is expected later that evening. Hannah, a middle-aged mother, is taking down the laundry and pretends to be looking for her daughter V, although she already knows she's hiding under the deck. She grabs her daughter with a hug. They play a game of hide-and-seek, with Hannah counting as her daughter runs off. Lou arrives in her truck and reminds Hannah that her rent is due tomorrow. She expects it on her table by then. "Bitch, yo ass was about to suicide yourself. Fuck the rent." As Lou drives away, the dumbass daughter suddenly runs out onto the road. Lou almost hits her, but luckily, she manages to slam on the brakes. Hannah shouts angrily at Lou to watch where she's going, to which Lou responds that Hannah should teach her daughter to look after herself. Soon after, Hannah's friend Chris stops by to check in on her. He wants to bend our girl over. He asks Hannah if she's talked to V about her father yet. Hannah doesn't respond. Chris leaves, and as he drives, the rain begins to pour. He passes a hitchhiker on the road and offers him a ride. As Chris drives, the hitchhiker finds a book in the car and asks about it. Chris explains that it's for a friend. The hitchhiker inquires further, asking if Chris plans to be more than friends with Hannah. Chris just smiles and responds, "She has a kid and wants to take it slow." Hearing this, the hitchhiker turns up the radio and starts jamming out. Chris joins in too. Suddenly, the hitchhiker slams Chris's head onto the dashboard and strangles him until he loses consciousness. Oh, I really wanted these foreign-ass man to fuck. Back at home, Hannah prepares her rent payment for Lou. Meanwhile, Lou is at her own house examining the other contents of the chest. Inside, she finds old photographs and rolls of film. She tosses the photographs into the fire. Back at Hannah's house, she tries to have a conversation with V about her father, but can't bring herself to tell her the truth. At the same time, Lou sits at her house, writing a suicide note. As Hannah tucks V into bed, the power goes out. Hannah goes outside to check the breaker. Meanwhile, someone is breaking into their house, so V hides in a laundry bin. Hannah spots Chris's car parked by the road and checks it, only to find Chris's lifeless body inside. Panicking, she runs to find V, only to discover that she is no longer in her room. Just as Lou is about to shoot herself, Hannah bursts into her home to use the phone to call the sheriff, but the phone line is cut. Hannah explains to Lou that her daughter is missing and was kidnapped by her father. All along, she had believed he was dead, but she was wrong. The two women jump into Lou's car to head to the sheriff's office, but the car won't start. Lou opens the hood and discovers a ticking bomb. They run and duck just as the car explodes. They return inside the house, and Lou tells Hannah that seeking the sheriff's help isn't a viable option because they're miles from town and her daughter will be long gone by then. As Lou prepares her weapons and tools, Hannah provides some background on her ex, Philip. She explains that he used to be a Green Beret and is wanted for war crimes in Central America, giving immigrants a bad name. They leave the house and begin tracking Philip down. Lou asks Hannah to stay behind and gives her specific instructions, but Hannah refuses, insisting on accompanying her. Meanwhile, V wakes up and Philip is there, trying to remind her that he's her father. Philip tells her they're going on an adventure, but V asks if Hannah will be coming along. Philip tells her that he left a note and clues for Hannah, and that she'll follow soon after. The things I would do to this man, and I mean that negatively and sexually. Lou and Hannah follow Jax as he tracks the trail Philip left behind. They arrive at a cabin, and while observing through binoculars, they spot two men standing guard, Tony and Jerry. They served with Philip and are just as ruthless as he is. Lou leaves a pocket knife with Hannah for safety and then makes her way toward the cabin. Lou approaches Jerry on the porch, pretending to be a geriatric helpless grandma as she searches for her dog. She asks Jerry if she could rest inside for a while to recover, to which he agrees. Once inside, Tony is sitting at the table eating. He offers Lou a seat. As they talk, Tony becomes suspicious of Lou. Lou stands up, but Tony grabs her wrist. Lou grabs the pot of soup and throws it onto Tony. She ducks and shoots Jerry down. Tony tackles her, and they wrestle until Lou grabs a can and slashes Tony's throat with it. She interrogates him until he reveals the details of where Philip has taken V. Lou then finishes him off. Hannah finds a radio and tries to use it to call for help. Lou tells her to turn it off and leave it. Lou takes all the weapons she can find. Hannah asks her what branch of the military she served in, and Lou reveals she was in the CIA for 26 years. They leave the cabin to continue their search for V. Meanwhile, V is in a stroller being dragged by Philip. She asks if she can pee, and Philip stops to let her do so in the bushes. Hannah continues to try using the radio, despite Lou's warnings. Philip's radio picks up her transmission, and he realizes they're nearby and tracking them. V eventually gets sussy of her dad. They keep walking. Later, Hannah struggles to walk because of her footwear. Lou notices and they decide to take a break. Lou starts a fire, and they have an emotional conversation about Hannah's past with Philip. She reveals how Philip would have episodes and threaten to kill V and her if they ever tried to leave. They continue on their way and cross a hanging bridge. The bridge becomes unstable as they move across, and Lou's hand starts acting up again from masturbating too much. She falls and Hannah follows her, tumbling down as well. Luckily, they both survive the fall and continue on. Hannah fidgets with the radio again, and Lou tells her to leave it and forget about asking for help from the sheriff, especially because he's geriatric too. They get closer to Eagles Bay. Upon arrival, they see a shipwreck and decide to investigate. Inside, they find V's stuffed animal, causing Hannah to panic and become hysterical. Lou comforts her, and after a moment, Hannah calms down. Lou notices smoke rising from a fire nearby in the woods. She tricks Hannah into going up to the hill to use the radio to contact help, giving Lou the time she needs to head toward the fire and rescue V. Philip has taken V into a cave to camp. Meanwhile, at the top of the hill, Hannah tries to contact Sheriff Rankin, asking for help. She tries to give him details, but the connection breaks off. Sheriff Rankin calls for backup. Lou scopes out the cave with her sniper rifle, then approaches cautiously. Philip sees her and aims a gun at her back, demanding she drop her weapons. He asks Lou why she betrayed him. It is revealed that Lou is Philip's mother. "Oh, y'all wanted a twist?" Lou asks Philip what his intentions are, especially with letting them track him. He brings up the time he was kidnapped as a child in Iran and how Lou didn't come to save him. He believes she chose to protect her CIA cover instead of rescuing him. As they talk, Lou subtly positions her knife, preparing to strike when the opportunity arises. Philip points the gun at her, and she grabs it, slashing him across the neck. They roll into combat, each trying to gain the upper hand. Eventually, Philip manages to stab his mama. She has flashbacks of when he was abducted. Philip picks up V and starts to carry her away, telling Lou they'll be waiting at the lighthouse. Back at the station, Bernie Sanders Sheriff Rankin is asking for updates on the rescue operation when the phone rings. It's a call from the federal marshals. The marshal informs him that the investigation is under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Marshals and that no one is allowed to enter the area. Hannah returns from the mountain and sees Lou struggling with her wound. She helps Lou and bandages her up. Hannah finds a photo and a postcard, and the realization sinks in. She confronts Lou about the messages, implying that they weren't really for her, but were actually for Lou. Lou tells her the truth, saying she's V's Medea grandmother. Hannah, feeling betrayed, blames Lou for everything. She leaves Lou behind and sets off toward the lighthouse on her own. Sheriff Rankin arrives on an ATV, and Jax barks, waking Lou. Rankin finds Lou and helps her. She asks him to get the first aid kit, but when he leaves, Lou quickly hops on the ATV and drives off toward the lighthouse. As Hannah approaches the lighthouse, she hears V call out to her. She runs up the stairs to the top, where Philip and V are waiting. V asks to hug Hannah, and as they embrace, Philip holds a bomb detonator in his jacket pocket. V asks to pee, and while she's away, Hannah takes the opportunity to aim her gun at Philip. Hannah shoots him twice and he falls. As she gets closer, he grabs the gun and throws it down from the lighthouse. Philip then locks her in an embrace, but Hannah manages to grab her pocket knife and stabs his hand, pinning it to the grill. She runs to the door and locks it shut. Hannah rushes down the stairs and searches for V in the flooded basement. She finds her there, and Lou catches up with them. Lou tells them to leave through the hatch, but Hannah can't fit, so she tells V to run to the beach instead. Hannah returns to help Lou, and when Lou struggles to detonate the bomb, they realize they need a decoy to buy them some time. Hannah goes up to find a way to stall Philip and locks the gate to keep him from getting inside. Hannah tries to break open the hatch while Lou works on defusing the bomb. Philip monologues, holding the detonator and getting emotional. Just as he presses the button, Lou manages to defuse the bomb. A CIA helicopter arrives and Hannah and Lou just manage to escape through the hatch. Hannah tells Lou to go ahead and leave, as she plans to delay Philip. When Philip reaches the basement, he sees the open hatch and explodes in a fit of rage. Lou finds V hiding in a small crevice by the beach rocks. Hannah limps to the beach, where Lou tells V to grab a long stick. Lou fashions a tool out of the stick, rope, and the copper bracelet from Sheriff Rankin. She reunites with Hannah and V and asks them to hold the stick up. Lou then detonates the bomb with the radio to distract the helicopter. Lou tells Hannah to go back to town with V and Jax, insisting that she'll deal with Philip. Hannah protests, wanting Lou to come with them, but Lou insists. She explains that she wrote a letter for Hannah the other night. Lou prepares to face Philip on the shore. As Lou waits for Philip, he arrives, strangles her, and tries to drown her. Lou grabs a rock and hits his head. He staggers to his feet and swings a stick at Lou. It snags on her vest and she hugs him tightly. As they embrace, she whispers to him, "I'm sorry, kid." The CIA opens fire on them, and they collapse into the waves. Back at home, V plays in the yard when a car approaches the driveway. It's Sheriff Rankin. He goes inside to ask Hannah for her signature so that Philip's body can be released for burial. The CIA agents are also there, seeking further information about Lou and the CIA documents. Hannah gives them a brief, almost lifeless answer, and they leave. Sheriff Rankin follows suit and departs as well. Hannah and V are now on a boat, with Jax accompanying them. Lou's letter monologue plays in the background, offering a poignant reflection. As they drift away, a woman holding binoculars watches from a distance, wearing the same copper bracelet, presumably Lou. "Oh, Granny's still alive. She badass." I actually quite enjoyed this movie. Had my ass glued to the edge of my seat with my blood pressure spiking. What y'all think of this one?
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.